Okay, we're back. And I'm sorry about that. It happens to be I use my Note 10 to get your pictures, that you're looking in the background. And it's saying that my phone is overheating, but no, my phone never overheated. And I think that was because I had it hooked up with a cable instead of Wi-Fi. So with that said, okay, it should be okay now. So let's continue with the review. So, making a long story short, I think that what we want to talk about here is about this particular franchise and Cicis and their value. Okay, definitely, what you'll see here in the Orlando area, if you go from one Cicis to another, is you're not going to see any sort of consistency, and the fault is really upper management. Upper management, I believe, does not have the experience or the capabilities to be able to manage a restaurant which has 18 restaurants as in a district level. And the reason that I say that is because it is different when you go from one Cicis to another Cicis. It's not like when you go to McDonald's. When you go to a McDonald's, it doesn't matter if it's a franchise or if it is not a franchise. You go from one McDonald's to another McDonald's, everything is going to be exactly the same, and everything is going to taste the same, and everything is going to be done the same way. Not at Cicis. In Cicis, for instance, okay, if I come to this particular location and I ask for a specialty pizza, the specialty pizza that they give you, all right, has to be taken in plates like I ordered, okay, which is really, really great, okay, which I ordered, right here, all right, so I cannot take the whole tray. Now, you go to the Cicis down the street, they'll give you the whole tray. You go to the Cicis down in Kissimmee, they won't sell you a whole pizza, they'll only give you a half a pizza. So, there is no consistency, okay, and that is terrible, because you might come to a Cicis like this particular one, which is really good, and everything is really good, and then all of a sudden you go to another Cicis and you're expecting the same quality, the same way to be served, and it's not, and so that's what I'm talking about, consistency. The other one, which is even worse, I can eat a pizza right here and go to, let's say, for example, which I've gone to the Cicis at Plaza del Sol in Kissimmee. Well, let me tell you, the difference in the taste is between night and day. The pizza, actually, that I ate at Plaza del Sol tasted like cardboard. Now, the pizza that I come here, when I come out here, and when I eat the pizza here in this location, which happens to be in Palm Park Avenue, tastes awesome. All right, it is like perfect. It's the best way I can put it. It's fresh. It's it's cooked right. So why? Well, the difference is because this particular company is not enforcing their product, the quality of the product, their stability as far as taste and quality. So what happens is the restaurant, for example, that is running the Plaza del Sol, which thinks that he knows, and maybe he does, but the reality is, as a chef, as a person that's been doing this for 40 years, I would not even sell that pizza for $2.99. And the funny part about it is that in this particular location, the buffet is also more expensive than any of the other locations or any of the other Cicis that is owned by this particular franchise. So that alone tells me that there is no consistency. Okay, so with that said, that has to do really, that fault, the upper management. It's not the restaurant managers, because the upper management is not creating a stability where it doesn't matter to what Cicis I go to, I'm going to be served exactly the same way, and I'm going to actually eat and taste the pizza exactly the same. That's not happening. Now, with that said, out of all the Cicis that I've been, which I've been to about 9, 10 of this particular franchise, the best one that I have seen as far as cleanliness, friendliness, overall experience is here where I am at, which is at the Palm Parkway, which is only half a mile from Disney Springs entrance. Why? Because the manager here, I think, puts so much emphasis, so much love, so much in detail that it shows. It shows not only in the quality, it shows in the smiles that the employees are giving you. So the experience as a whole is really between a 1 to 10, 10 being the best. I would have to give it a 9. Why don't I give it a 10? Because there's still something that really keeps them from getting a 10. And I'm going to explain to you why. The one thing that they lack in, I believe, is common sense. If I order, or a customer orders a pizza, and the whole pizza is going to be for the customer, a lot of times I would have to take the pizza and stack it up in one of these plates that you're looking at right here. So what happens to pizza when you stack it and it's hot, the cheese that is hot is going to get stuck to the pizza that is on top of it. And when you start eating it, all right, you start actually pulling apart the pizza that's underneath it. What they should do is actually, if the whole pizza is going to be for the table, they should do the normal thing that every pizzeria does, which is allow the tray to go to the table. All right, that would solve that issue. Okay, that's one issue. The other issue is really not an issue that has to do so much with the restaurant manager. It has to do, I believe, with upper management. And I will explain. When I look at experience at any restaurant, I look at experience from the time that I walk in to the time that I leave. Chuck E. Cheese, for example, which also has a beautiful buffet, it is a lot more expensive, but yet it is a lot more fun to go to. Why? Because the experience that Chuck E. Cheese is bringing to his client is really an experience of playful. They have a lot of games. They have games that are actually popular and are enjoyed by the teenagers and by the youngsters. This particular Cicis and all of the Cicis have games that really don't make any sense. You can come here and it's packed, and all of the games are pretty much empty. What does that tell you? Well, if you're upper management and you have any kind of common sense, you would know that if your games are not packed and your games are not being used, it's because they're crap. Simple. It's that simple. Okay? It's because your clients are not liking and do not like those games. Now, as a business person, every single square foot in my restaurant has to generate money. So, upper management in this situation really doesn't know what they're doing. Obviously, because, and I understand, it might be because they don't understand the area of gaming. Okay, that's understandable. But, this has been happening for years. And if you see these particular games that are not producing the amount of money that they should be producing, change them to something that actually does produce money. It's called business Business 101. All right? If you haven't done that, come join my school and I will teach you Business 101. But this is a total no-no. All right? Specifically because the customer that comes here doesn't only come to eat pizza. They also come to play games right after they eat pizza with their buddies, with their friends. And it draws more people to come here. The senior citizens are not the ones that are going to eat the pizza. Okay, the people that eat the pizza are your high school students, your college kids, the kids that are young, and of course, people that are going to, in this particular area, people that are going to the theme parks because they want something quick. But at the same time, they want their kids to have fun, to enjoy. They want to spend the money. But if you don't have what they want for you to spend money, they're going to go, guess what? And guess where? To Chuck E. Cheese. Even though it might cost $20, they don't mind paying the $20 because the experience always overcomes the price that you put on that door. And that's the truth. Now, how do I know? Because I can go right now to Chuck E. Cheese and it's packed. And I can come right here to the best Cicis Pizza, which happens to be this one, and it's empty. So that's pretty much, of real common sense, as far as that's concerned. Now, as far as the value, honestly and truthfully, if you're in the Orlando area, you're not going to have a better value than to come to a Cicis Pizza. You can get for $7.99, you can get a buffet. And what's nice about it is if you save your receipt and you come the next day or within the next 3 days, it's only going to cost you $3.99. Now that does not include your soda. But at these prices, you cannot eat at McDonald's. You cannot even eat a Happy Meal, okay, for these prices. And this is like all you can eat. And taking it a step further, if you don't like what they have as far as the pizza on the table, you can special order a pizza. Like this particular pizza, it is a barbecue, ham, onions, and banana peppers. That's not a normal pizza that they do here. But I wanted something different, so they make it for you. And it's fresh, and you can eat as much as you want. So, if I was going to recommend Cicis Pizza as a whole, as a franchise, and if I was going to rate him between 1 and 10, I gotta give Cicis Pizza, because of the consistency within one restaurant to another restaurant, a 6. If I'm going to rate this particular location, in which I am in right now, which happens to be in Palm Parkway, and only half a mile from the entrance of Disney Springs, I would definitely give this one a 9. And I would recommend everybody and anybody that is hungry, that wants to go to a Cicis Pizza, come and experience what a real pizza buffet should be like by coming to this particular location, which happens to be in Palm Parkway. This is Charles Richard, and I'm giving you my honest review. There is nothing better, nothing cheaper, nothing quicker than to come to a Cicis Pizza and enjoy an awesome lunch or even dinner. In the meantime, if you want to see more reviews like this, please hit me up and subscribe. And this way, you will get notified about when these reviews happen to be coming live. In the meantime, I'll see you on my next review, which will be in another restaurant this Thursday. These live podcasts that I'm doing right now, will be done on Mondays and on Thursdays. And every Monday and Thursday, I will try to bring you to a different location and show you around not only the restaurants, it could be an event, it could be, a lot of things, but give you a better feel of what I recommend, where you should go while you're here on your vacation.